Hey everybody, how's it going? Jim here with Jim's Planes, Trains, and Video Games. Today, we're going to be doing an in-depth review on the Lionel Norfolk Southern SD60e number 911, the Honoring Our First Responders unit. Now a little bit of background about this unit, about the SD60Es. The SD60Es are rebuilt EMD SD60s, and Norfolk Southern rebuilds them themselves in their Altoona shops and their Juniata shops. These locomotives are very high class, and they do a lot of rebuilding there lately. And it is much cheaper to rebuild a locomotive and add 20 years to its lifespan than buy a new locomotive that's only going to last 25, 30 years before it needs a rebuild. So that's exactly what Norfolk Southern did. So a few of the things that they changed on the locomotive, I will point these out now. We have, they changed the dynamic brake housing right here. The dynamic brake fan up here, I'll point that out later. They've changed the cab. The antennas, they put PTC antennas on most of them. And that is the interesting thing that Lionel chose to do. The newer ones have PTC already installed. And the new ones with PTC, the real life ones that have PTC, the models have the PTC model have PTC on top as well. But the earlier SD60Es, they do not have PTC, and Lionel has also modeled that on another model which I do not have, but Lionel is showing some variation in these locomotives, which is great for the hobby. Alright, well let's go in an in-depth review of the Lionel Norfolk Southern SD60e. Starting on the front pilot, we have a nice snowplow here, which can be removed by two screws, which are under the locomotive here and here. We have a nice red painted pilot here. We have some cast-in hoses here, cast-in grab irons here and here, and we have the Lionel electrocoupler right here, which can be fired from the Lionel Legacy control system or the Lionel Trainmaster command control system. Moving up, we have the anti-climber here, and we have LED ditch lights here and here. We also have cast-in walkway. We also have walkways that are cast in with safety grating. We have a metal chain here, and we have handrails here, which are very prototypical for the model. Continuing on, we have some separately applied handrail grab irons, I should say. A cast-in door here on the nose. We have some more separately applied grab irons here, and we have a sand filler hatch there. We have two lit number boards and an LED headlight. Here, from a top view, you can see the grab iron here and the sand filler hatch on the other side of the locomotive. Here we have two separately applied grab irons right above the number boards. We have the PTC array here. We have an extra ice skate antenna on the engineer side. These arrays are separately applied. Here's the dynamic brake fan, or one of the dynamic brake fans, and this blade does actually spin. Here is the fan that I was telling you about that Norfolk Southern changed. It is a much smaller fan to go along with the enlarged radiator sides. And Norfolk Southern painted this to match the paint scheme, and Lionel accurately modeled that. Here we have the smokestack. Here we have some cast-in details. The horn, which I believe is prototypical for the SD60e. Here we have the 3 fans, which do spin, and here we have a grab iron, and when you lift this grab iron up, this whole section comes off to reveal the compartment here. We have the space for the 9-volt battery. Here we have all the rear headlight displays and everything, along with the rear number boards, which is what is on right now. Here we have the flywheel motor. Here we have the sound volume knob, the run program switch, the Odyssey no Odyssey switch, and the smoke no smoke switch. And to replace this cover, because it's held down with magnets, all you have to do is just put it right back into place. It's that easy. Okay, here we have some very nice hand-painted steps, or hand-painted sides to the steps, which are cast in. Here we have some very prototypical truck detail with an air cylinder there and some roller bearings there. Moving up, we have a few decals here, and here we have the trans carrier decal and American flag. Here we have SD60e, which classifies this, which lets the crew know what type of locomotive this is. We have 911 on the side here, and we have our cab windows here. They do have wind visors or mirrors on the front and the back of each window. The windows do not open. Here we have a sunshade, and here you can really see the crescent cab that Norfolk Southern has, and it has this nice overhang over the window, so that way it blocks more sun from the crew's eyes, which is a very nice feature that I think Norfolk Southern did a really good job with. Okay, here we have the rear pilot. We have the cast-in air hoses, the Lionel electrocoupler, the anti-climber, LED ditch lights that do function, which is a first for Lionel, a metal chain, and some more handrails. Moving up on the locomotive, we have the Norfolk Southern horsehead, some separately applied grab irons, LED lit number boards, and we have the rear headlight here. Now, as we move back from the cab, we have some more parts of the dynamic brake housing here. We have here the logos of ambulance, police, and the fire departments. And these are and this locomotive is specifically designed to thank first responders, so that's why those are there. Here we have some housing of some sort here, and we have some more etched metal walkways. We have some more cast-in details all along the side of the locomotive, along with this beautiful honoring our first responders painted on the side with a ladder above it. Here we have some radiator grills here. We have the handbrake here, and we have the Norfolk Southern logo here. And up top, there is quite a few lift rings. You weren't able to see them from the top-down view, but you can right here. There's lift rings on this back section only. There's 4 of them. And then there is 2 painted red right here and on the other side. Here we have the same truck detail as the front, but with the fuel tank, we have a sight glass right here that is not painted. We have our fuel tank, which is so low I actually had to take out my signal on the layout because it was causing the track to go up in elevation, and the fuel tank was rubbing up against the middle rail, causing a spark, so that is a very good problem to have. I've never had that problem before, but just shows you how detailed Lionel is trying to get. But here we have another sight glass which is painted. We have a fuel cap here, and we have an emergency fuel shutoff, which is right there. On the engineer side, it is the exact same cap-wise, but here the truck detail is slightly different. You have two air cylinders here and there, and then we have a assembly of some form right here. Moving along the bottom here again, we have another sight glass, fuel cap, an emergency shut off. We have another unpainted sight glass here, and we have the same truck on this side. Here on the engineer side, we have more of the decals. We have a cast-in door on the back of the cab with a windscreen wiper. We have this dynamic brake housing again. We have the same logo that was on the other side on this side. And the only difference on this side, on the back radiator, is that there is no handbrake, I believe. Yes, it has no handbrake on this side. That is the only difference from the sides, and it does not have a cabinet of some form right here. Here we have the underside of the locomotive. We have the two screws I was talking about earlier where you can detach the snowplow. We have a free moving axle, which I personally do not care for, but it is what it is. We have two driven axles here and here. We have traction tires on the rear, on the far innermost axle towards the fuel tank. We have two pickup rollers per truck, and we have the same rear axle on the back. And it looks like you are able to put another snowplow on here on the back because it has the holes for it. So it appears that they just reused the front and the back assemblies. But here you have the speaker, and here you have the sensor track, and then here I have a little bit of damage here from the fuel tank being too low to the track. So I cannot use one of my accessories now because it was scraping on the center rail. Alright, let's see how she sounds.
This is the dispatcher. Do you copy? Roger that, dispatcher. I read you. Over. Okay, start her up. Stand by for track orders. Copy that. Let's get to work. Out.
Alright, here's the horn. Here's the bell. And here's some random crew talk sounds.
Fuel's full. Over. Roger that. Out. Air test complete, dispatcher. Am I clear to move? Over. Roger that. Take the green. Over. I copy. Thanks, dispatcher. Out. Dispatcher, trains buckled together. Can I get to the main line? Over. Roger, your track is clear. Dispatcher, over. I copy. Thanks, dispatcher. Out. Dispatcher, my engine's ready. Can I pull? Over. Negative. Please stand by. Over. Copy that. Standing by.
Alright, here are the RPM levels. This is RPM level 1. That's RPM level 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. And 6. And 7. And there's 8. And let's bring her back down. Alright, now let's get the train moving.
Dispatcher, train's buckled together. Can I get to the main line? Over. Negative. Stand by. Over. I copy, dispatcher. Out. Dispatcher here. You're clear to pull. Over. Thank you. We got a clear signal. Out.
This engine is equipped with sequence control, which all you have to do is press and hold the aux 1 button, and that will play all the sounds for you. So here you go. That ding ding toot means that it is activated. Here we go.
Dispatcher here. Go to restricted speed. Over. Copy that. Increasing to restricted. Dispatcher, we are rolling. Over. Affirmative. Keep rolling. Out. Dispatcher here. Go to slow speed. Over. Copy that. Increasing to slow speed. Out.
Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.